Naam, sadakta mtazamaji, raha iliyoje kuwa nawe tena siku ya leo. Natumai buheri wa afya na siku yako na wiki yako imekuwa ya heri na ya kufana, na kukaribisha tena katika himaya ya Sport Sugu. Kumbuka kwamba hapa ndipo tunaweka mambo paruanja kuhusiana na michezo ya wanadada, na tutashiriki midahalo kuhusiana na masuala ambayo yanaibuka katika tasnia ya wanadada. Kwa hiyo leo sipo peke yangu, leo tuko na Swati Patil. Natumai unamkumbuka, tupo naye pia mjomba Kiarie. Tutazungumza, tutashiriki mdahalo yote kwa nia kukuelimisha, kukujuza na kukutahadharisha, na tujumuike, tusemezane katika arafa 21144 na vile vile tupate katika mitandao za kijamii @GBS TV Africa. Kwa hiyo mambo yatakuwa sawa. Kumbuka kwamba hii wiki mambo mengi tu yametendeka kule Oregon Marekani. Tuliona Kenya bado tupo kule, lakini mambo hayaendi vizuri, lakini natumai Birmingham wiki ijao kama sikosei tarehe 28 tutakuwa kule na huenda tukafanya mambo yawe sawa. Na tena kuna mambo mengi yalitendeka, kwa hiyo tutataja mengi, lakini mambo ya Oregon tutaangazia katika kitengo chingine ambacho tutaangazia riadha kwa ujumla. Kwa hiyo Kiarie,
asante sana.
Vipi?
Niko salama, nashukuru. Thanks again viewers for tuning in Saturday afternoon, the 23rd of July. Most welcome to be part of us, part of our 1 hour. I can see we have got a guest looking very nice. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Today is a very special day because we are not only discussing a subject that touches on women in sports, women in general, but a very sensitive subject, a very engaging subject that is very informative. And who else do we have?
Swati Patil. Nakumbuka kwamba Kiarie, mada ya leo ni kuhusiana na yoga before and after pregnancy.
Yes. Yeah, which we say this being a dedicated sports show, and where we take care of all women in sports, all women engagement, yoga before and after pregnancy. We're going to deal with issues like prenatal, postnatal, what needs to be done, the mental wellness. Lakini mimi na wewe tunaweza zungumza sana. Let us welcome Swati Patil to the show.
Thank you so much. Let me first say thank you for having me on the show again. I'm honored to be back here. To introduce myself, I'm Swati Patil. I'm a yoga teacher. I teach Hatha yoga and I specialize in therapeutic yoga. I'm also part of the core committee of the Yoga Kenya, which holds the International Day of Yoga events in Kenya. And I guess it's just my pleasure to be here again, to be able to spread the word of yoga.
And just for the viewer who was tuned in today for the very first time, where did your journey come from, the yoga journey?
Like I had mentioned the previous time, as a teenager, I was just doing yoga because a friend introduced me to it. But I did my formal training in India in 2012. So I went to India for 6 months. I did a comprehensive course. And since then, I've been teaching yoga in Kenya.
So she's a Kenyan?
Yes, I'm a Kenyan.
Born, bred Kenyan.
Yeah.
Kenyan.
Yeah.
True Kenyan.
Don't worry about the appearance, the looks. Hata mimi pia nimetoka kule Ethiopia, kwa hiyo lakini sote ni Kenya.
Tumetoka Kenya daima. So for us today, dear viewer, we're having a very interesting topic inaitwa yoga in pregnancy, before and after. Our social media channels, GBS TV Africa.
GBS TV Africa, mitandao zote za kijamii, na vile vile tutazungumza kwa Facebook, ukurasa wangu wa Facebook @Kadeli Aita, na vile vile Twitter @Kadeli Aita, Instagram @Kadeli_L_Masai. Kwa hiyo tutasemezana, na kumbuka kwamba alama ya reli ama hashtag ni Sport Sugu. Kwa hiyo tutazungumza mengi kuhusiana na yoga. Umesikiza hapo prenatal, tutazungumza ni kuhusu inahusu nini, na vile vile postnatal inahusu nini. Kwa hiyo kama we ni mwanadada uko pale, sikiza kwa makini. Hata kama we ni mwanaume uko pale, sikiza kwa makini vile vile.
So I think we just go straight to Swati Patil. And for active sports ladies who wants to get pregnant or are already pregnant, when do they start yoga and why yoga?
Okay, so you mentioned two things, if they want to get pregnant and if they are already pregnant.
Yeah.
So we tackle them both separately. So when somebody is planning to get pregnant, they also already have some time. They can mentally prepare themselves also. So this is the right time for them to start doing yoga. As we had already spoken that yoga has the aspect of the physical exercise, plus the breathing exercises and the meditation part of it. Yeah. So when we are starting with yoga, you have to, like, for instance, when you want to welcome a guest, yeah, or for instance, if you want to go for a holiday, you book your hotel, you plan your holiday, you go to the hotel, the room is lovely, the bed sheets are made and everything. You would want to stay there, right? But what happens if you go to a shabby hotel? You find cockroaches are walking around. It's not very comfortable. So as a guest, you would not want to stay there. So this new baby that you want to invite in your body should also feel that that's a nice place where I would like to come and stay. So you have to prepare yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally to have that baby. So those who have not yet fallen pregnant, they still have time to prepare mentally. Maybe they can check their financial status, the timing, whether it's correct. They talk with their spouse, their family members, and they can plan.
Okay.
Yeah. So to plan, now they have to start their yoga regime. As we are targeting the sports women, they already have a training regime which is very strenuous and very unidirectional. Like for instance, if you're doing tennis, there's a certain type of training you do. If you're doing football, a certain type of training you do. So you notice in many cases, the ladies, because of the heavy training, they have issues of irregular periods, PCOD and such. So already they find it's difficult to get pregnant at such a point. Apart from that, the vigorous training also makes their bodies very stiff. So they need the flexibility that they may need, and the emotional flexibility that they may need may not be there. Yeah. So for all the women, it's a very difficult time, but for sports women, they now have to take an extra step where they need to discuss with their coach as well as their family members of what advice they can be given with regards to their diets, because many are on a very strong high protein diet. So all those things have to be, that background work has to be done. Yeah, so that's a decision that once you make a decision that I want to have a baby, there has to be some serious changes which you need to make.
Especially because sports personalities, they also have tight schedules.
Yes.
Like an athlete going for London Marathon, then Chicago Marathon, then Boston Marathon, then the pregnancy in between. It also has some ramifications on their careers, on the,
And talking about marathon Kiarie, recently, the past years, kama unamfahamu Faith Kipyegon, she was pregnant, I think 2017. He had to quit the athletics. Then she took a break. She took a break and she had time to prepare. And now she's back.
Now she's back. So I think Mr. Kadeli, let's take a break as sasa tufikirie about the sports personalities and the pregnancy and the trimester, because I'm sure there's a journey. There's a 9 months journey.
The preconception, and then the 9 months journey, and then the 6 months after it's a very long journey. Yeah.
Wow.
Kwa hiyo Kiarie tutazungumza na Patil, tutaendelea kuzungumza na Patil. Atatuelekeza zaidi, atatujuza kuhusiana na maswala na ujauzito na vile vile yoga. Je, ni wakati upi ambao mwanamke anafaa kuanza kutrain ama kuenda hizo classes za yoga? Atatueleza zaidi Kiarie.
Naam. Atatupasha, and pia atatupasha in the next segment about the myths.
Naam.
Unajua PV, there are people who say that once a sports personality, once a woman is pregnant, now kazi yake ni bed rest.
Imekwisha.
Kwisha. Now yeye ni mayai.
Na ndo nimekupa mfano wa Faith Kipyegon.
Yeah.
She took a break, then she came back.
And pia tatuambia, let's say in the next segment about the trimester. Manake nasikia we discuss the first trimester, second trimester, na perhaps each trimester what kind of exercises there are along the way.
Na mama akikaribia ile wakati wa kupata ujauzito, anafaa kuchukua mazoezi gani ama anafaa kufanya mazoezi gani? Kwa hiyo tuzidi kuzungumza, tumaarafa katika 21144, tuzidi kuzungumza. Tutashiriki mdahalo huu katika awamu ijayo, lakini kwanza tutapata tama la maji anga kunyosha koo. Kwa hiyo tutarudi hivi punde, usibanduke.
Everywhere GBS.
Na msadakta mtazamaji, usije ukabonyeza kisengere tu, kitupe na uzidi kushiriki mdahalo wetu. Kwa hiyo Kiarie, awamu ya pili ndo hii, tutazungumza mengi.
Tukakumbusha tu watazamaji wetu, GBS TV Africa tukupata katika Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
mitandao zote za kijamii.
Wewe binafsi Ekadeli wakupata wapi?
Ekadeli aita Facebook. Tutazungumza kimichezo, tutapambanua masuala tofauti, lakini kwa sasa mambo ni yoga.
And back to you, Swati. When is the right time for women in sports to get pregnant, and what are the myths that work around it?
Now, all ladies are different, and all pregnancies are different. When I say all pregnancies are different, the same lady's first pregnancy may be different from the second pregnancy. But since we are talking about sports women, and as you had mentioned that they have a continuous role of activities going on, it's always better to have your pregnancy earlier than later.
Okay.
For us, we would feel it's much better if you have it before the age of 30, because the time that the body needs to recover is much less, and to get back into shape is much easier. Also, the same time with any woman, the age gap between you and your child is very comfortable, because the more you delay, already there may be complications, and at the same time you will find you're much older when your child is very young.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And there are some myths.
Yeah, some myths which you can say, like some family pressures, because of some family pressure and the advice of the elderly in the family. This is specifically with regards to yoga. So people may feel that yoga may cause faster labor, or they may cause miscarriages. And also when the pregnancy is new, ladies are very tired. They feel that if I start doing an activity, I'll be too exhausted to carry on with the rest of the day. But that's not the case, because yoga gives you, once you do a yoga session, you get so much energy to be able to carry out the rest of the day. And also many a times you find that there's not enough family support. So maybe the spouse or the in-laws, whatever the case may be, may feel that once you're pregnant, now you need to take bed rest. And these are ladies who have been active in sports. So it's a myth that they need to take bed rest unless it's specifically advised to them by their doctors or their OBGYN, after the medical tests and all that. So if somebody has been active in sports all through, they can be active till the end. But the only thing is that they can only do low impact sports. So any high impact sports which involves jumping, running, or jerky movements. So we talk about tennis, badminton, volleyball, such kind, football. So these kind of athletes will have to take a break. Yeah.
Okay, especially before Kadeli ask you that one question and we has, umetaja family, lack of family support.
Yes.
Some of the women athletes, especially hapa Kenya, they are also breadwinners financially. Wajua, and just not nuclear. They also support extended. For example, athletes, let us use athletics as an example. Akikimbia, she comes back, her winning bonuses, she supports not her own family, but also extended. So the moment she gets into the family way, the pregnancy, there is also fear of loss of income. So how will yoga play out in that?
So now in this situation, we are talking where maybe it was not a planned pregnancy.
Yeah.
Because if it's a planned pregnancy, she would be able to decide the duration that she can take a break.
Yes.
So this was an unplanned pregnancy, and she's not aware. Suddenly there's so much mental pressure, anxiety, fear for the future.
Yeah.
So yoga has so many techniques for meditation. Also the poses themselves, we do them in conjunction with the breathing exercises. We teach you mindfulness. Yeah. So it helps you to center yourself and stop diverting your mind towards worries, because now it's happened.
Yeah.
There's nothing much you can do about it. So you have to make the best of it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So this, instead of thinking of the loss of income and all this, because it has already happened, right? So now she has to think that there's this, she's been given an opportunity by higher powers, to bring this new human being into this world. So there's no greater work than that.
Okay.
Yeah. So she has to internalize that process, accept the situation.
Okay.
Yeah. And then take care of her health. Do the yoga from the first month, from the time she finds out till after she delivers. We do postnatal yoga so she can come back into shape and rejoin her career or her activities as soon as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. At the same time, the meditation and the yoga with awareness is going to help the child also settle well.
Okay.
Yeah. So the child, if she starts feeling nervous or unconfident or worried, it will be translated to the child. So the mother has to have a centered mind and body so that the child can have a centered mind and body.
Great. Swati, please take us through the benefits, of course, of yoga poses and postures during pregnancy.
Okay. Now, many of the yoga benefits are generally same for prenatal and general people doing yoga. So increased flexibility, increased strength with relation to pregnancy. Now you have a new life growing inside you, which is going to take up space inside your body. So you have to learn how to deal with it, how to create more space to be able to breathe well. Increased circulation, blood circulation, as well as oxygen circulation, respiration. And then the meditation part helps you to calm down, remove anxieties, help you connect and bond with the baby as well. Yeah. And if we go specifically to pregnancy, then in the first few months, it helps you to relax your body, to get used to your pregnancy. Then we do hip opening exercises to help you with your labor process, to make your labor process easy. Yes, and basically to deal with the delivery process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The postures. There's something I asked about the postures because we see different postures during different walking styles, different postures.
Yeah. So normally what happens is because the belly is growing and so is the chest. To ease the discomfort, we see that ladies tend to sit in front in their seat as they lean their upper body back, and at the same time the chest is heavy, so they're leaning their chest, and then they are waddling along. Now that's a very wrong thing to do, because right now they may feel that they are easing their discomfort, but it could cause a lot of injuries to the spine. So through yoga poses, from the early stages, we teach them that to try to keep the alignment of the spine as close to the natural alignment as possible, so that once they have delivered and now there's no baby in the body, so it's much easier for them to get accustomed, because you find some of them are so used to that after delivery they are still walking like they are pregnant, and already they have caused injury to their spine because of the misalignment. So yoga is very, very helpful to help them to correct that, because they get balance, and they the pain management aspect of it is covered through the poses.
So, Swati, there are some yoga poses that are not recommended for late pregnancy.
Yes. There are some simple yoga poses which are recommended for all, but something which goes without saying is because the baby is in the belly, so we will not do any poses which compress the abdomen, which you twist. And then after the 4th month, we don't allow you to lie down on your back, because the pressure goes on some important blood vessels, which may restrict blood flow to the baby. So those are the kind of things that we have to take care of. But if you go to a professional yoga teacher who is an expert with prenatal yoga, you'll be guided correctly, so you don't cause any injuries or damage.
So what are some of the yoga poses? Because what I'm hearing is that different trimester, different people have, there are some poses, but there are some which are generic. Which are some of the yoga poses?
Some of the generic yoga poses which we can do all through.
Yes.
We start with simple rotations. So for instance, neck rotation, wrist rotations, ankle rotations. This is to keep the circulation going, so that there's no stiffness, swelling, and also when the energy point of view, there's energy constantly flowing through your body. Then we have simple stretches, side bends. When it comes to poses, we have a pose called butterfly, which is extremely, extremely necessary to be done from the first till the end. So it's a seated pose whereby you hold your feet and bring them close to you, and then your knees look like a butterfly's wings. Then we have another pose which is called the cat-cow pose, which is also recommended in Lama's classes, I have noticed. It's very good for flexibility of the spine. It's also a pose which can be done till the end. In the early stages, we recommend that you can do inverted poses, which means you with your legs up, but with support. You can do standing poses like the warrior or the triangle, but these can't be done in later stages whereby maybe the stomach has become too big, the belly has become big, and then there's no balance. So unless you can do it supported or with a partner, those can be done as well. And then we have the breathing exercises, which are a must in all.
Before Kerry, you continue, you told us about the benefits, but for this pregnant woman, what are some of the benefits of practicing some poses, some yoga poses?
So if I can go trimester by trimester.
Yes, please.
So when we're in the first trimester, normally this pregnancy, if it's not planned, it's maybe detected after the sixth week. That's generally what happens. So at this point, you find the mother is, the hormones are changing. So the mother is just getting accustomed. And, it's like when you know your driving license is expired. And you've been driving without a driving license for the past 4 months. Suddenly you start panicking the day you find out your driving license is expired. So during that process, they may be comfortable, but once they get their report card that yes, you are pregnant, something changes in the mind. So they start getting anxious, they start getting worried, especially for first-time mothers, because they don't know what to expect. So they're very scared. So apart from that, there is physically, there are some new aches and pains which have started coming in the body. They don't know, they don't understand. Then there's morning sickness, nausea. Because at at this time, the pregnancy is just trying to settle in. It's trying to get, to find a home.
To familiarize.
Yeah, to familiarize.
Okay.
So energy levels and mood levels are also not very comfortable.
Okay.
And because we want to keep the pregnancy safe, so we do poses which will help the pregnancy to set.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the mother to feel a little bit comfortable.
Yeah.
So a lot of meditation, plenty of breathing exercises, the butterfly pose which I told you, and we have a pose whereby we do inverted pose. You lie against a wall with your legs up 90 degrees and you lie on the floor. So it's inverted. So we do that one as well. So that helps to secure the pregnancy because the chances for miscarriages in the first 3 months are very high.
The first trimester.
Yes.
So that is the first trimester you've spoken about.
Yes.
Then you go to the second
The
trimester.
second trimester. Now, at this time, I assume that your doctor has given you the go-ahead to do yoga as well. Yeah, we are assuming,
Yes, please.
because you may have a history of miscarriages, or we don't know your medical condition. Every person is different, so the doctor must give the go-ahead. Yeah. So when you go to second trimester, now the lady is a little bit more comfortable because in the first trimester we did a lot of meditation, a lot of poses to remove her stress, her anxiety. Yeah. So this time she's a bit comfortable. So we start doing hip opening exercises to help prepare the pelvic girdle for the birth. Also, we do a lot of shoulder strengthening exercises because she still has a lot of energy.
Okay.
Yeah. At this point, if anybody is prescribed bed rest by the doctor, by the doctor, not by relatives, there are yoga poses which can be done while the lady is still sitting in the bed. Yeah, so rotations continue, simple stretches continue, and now we go into hip opening exercises. So we go into the standing ones that I had mentioned, triangle pose, the warrior pose. Then there's a seated pose whereby you separate your legs quite a lot and bend, do a forward bend because there's room for your stomach to go. So those are the kind of exercises. Then specifically exercises designed for the shoulders, to strengthen the shoulders. So we have a rabbit pose, we call it Shashankasan, whereby we strengthen the shoulders. Yeah, so that's how it goes.
That is the second.
That is the second one now.
trimester.
Yeah, because now at this time, the lady actually is very energetic. Once the first trimester goes, many a times the lady's hormones are back to normal. The mental state is more stable. She has already accepted the pregnancy. And you find she's more enthusiastic now to, to take care of herself and the baby, and as we look forward to the third trimester.
Now the third trimester.
Yeah.
Because
So,
now you have started the first. You have go to the second.
Then the third one.
Now let's just follow now with the third trimester. Now,
okay.
now what happens?
So now the third trimester is very different for different people. So some ladies feel they have more energy, while others feel they are getting tired. Yeah, because as the baby is growing, if it's growing, progressing naturally, but they may feel they don't have energy. And at this stage, what we want to do is prepare her for labor. And with yoga, our aim is that we must try to prepare you for a natural delivery, a normal delivery. Yeah, we don't want you to take you to the operating theater. So that's our main aim. So here we continue our hip opening exercises. At the same time, we do exercises whereby we will try to direct the head of the baby to the downward position. We try to lodge it into the pelvic girdle, so that you have a timely delivery. You must have noticed some ladies, go past their due date or, such kind of things. Yeah. So then once again, now we are continuing the exercises which we did before. But we'll not do any exercises while we are lying on our back. Yeah. So even the relaxations that you will do also in the second trimester, you'll be lying on your left side. Yeah. So there's a pose called Anantasan, whereby you lie on the side as you do leg raises. So we'll do that one. We continue to do the hip opening exercises. That now depends on your center of balance, whether you are able to do the standing ones, well and good. If not, then we can do the seated ones. Yeah. And so much meditation comes into the place now, because now you're preparing to go into labor. And at this time, already from the 5th month, your child understands you. So we have this practice whereby you place your hands on your belly and you talk to the baby. Yeah.
Wow.
So now you need to talk to the baby that you reassure the baby that it's nearly the end of the road, but you're comfortable, you're safe. I'm here waiting to meet you when you come out.
To welcome
Yeah,
you.
everything is well, and you reassure yourself as well as the baby. At the same time, you listen to good music, listen to good stories, yeah, depending on whatever your belief is, because you want this individual to learn good things while it's in the womb, because it's listening to you. Yeah.
So
And let me not take you away from the breathing exercises, because now the child is very big.
Oh yeah.
Taking up a lot of space, part of your chest cavity as well. So the breathing exercises, deep breathing exercises, alternate nostril breathing, you experienced some of that. Yeah. So yeah, so that helps you keep your breath even during the process of labor. Yeah. And then we have you remember we have the chanting, the Om chanting, prayer chanting, whereby somebody can even say the prayer of their choice. Yeah. And the Brahmari breath, the bumblebee breath, where we were humming. So the vibrations are also very important.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nzuri sana. Japo ametaja hayo, amesema kwamba yale uliyofanya kule uwezi zalisha kiarie, uwezi. Kwa hiyo ametuambia vizuri, ametuambia huo mchakato wote, stage ya mpaka sasa hivi katika stage ya fetus, mwanamke anafaa kufanya nini, ametuelekeza.
Na kabla tupige tama la maji tena, I feel it is a very important topic ya leo. Mada ya leo, it's very important because Sports Sugu, kumbuka, it's a dedicated women sports show. And these are the kind of very engaging topics that affect all women. And even our very own sisters wale wako katika michezo, these are the kind of information they need. Ndio wajue, going through the pregnancy does not make you stop doing exercises. Physical fitness continues from what you have been explained to first to third trimester.
Yeah. Kwa hiyo naona mwelekezi wangu yupo ange, manake Zaituni wake yupo katika hali fulani, kwa hiyo azidi kutazama. Kwa hiyo tutapumua kidogo, alafu tutarejea tuendelee na mdahalo wetu, tusemezane na zaidi tuwafundishe na tuelimishe. Kwa hiyo tama la maji angalau, alafu tutarejea.
Everywhere GBS.
Naam, karibu tena mtazamaji wangu. Kumbuka kwamba mdahalo huu ni kwa ajili yako. Kila mdahalo ambao tunachukua ama tunazungumzia ama kile ambacho tunakizungumzia ni kwa manufaa yako, mtazamaji wangu. Kama una bibi ama umeoa ama umeolewa na mwanadada wako ama Zaituni wako yupo katika hali ya ujauzito, usibonyeze kidude, usiondoke. Kwa hiyo usitupe kisengere tu, azidi kuenda nasi. Na usikose kutuzungumzia katika arafa 21144. Utuambie, je, utuulize swali moja kwa Swati, atakuwa analijibu vile vile. Kwa hiyo kiarie mgeni wetu ametuelekeza. Swati, you have taken us from the whole process of prenatal stage, the trimester. We have talking about the third trimester, and now we would like you, of course, to take us on the precautions pregnant women should take the precautions
when doing yoga.
When doing yoga. So the precautions that one should take when doing yoga. First of all, you must do yoga under the guidance of a trained, well-experienced prenatal yoga teacher.
Okay.
It's not advisable in a pregnancy to look at videos and try to do this yourself. It's always good to have guidance through a yoga teacher, because then they can easily understand your body and help you in case of injuries.
Okay.
Also, you must get your doctor to approve, because there may be some underlying conditions that the yoga teacher might not know until your doctor advises.
Okay.
Then the type of yoga that you can do is, as I mentioned before, you can't, there'll be no jerky or jumping movements. Yeah, so like when we go to sports women, swimming can be done till the last month. However, this lady should not do it as if she's in a race. She should just swim gently. So all the yoga poses will be done gently and calmly.
Okay.
No jerky movements, no jumps. No such.
Okay.
And then there should be no compression to the abdomen, especially once you find out you're pregnant, or when the belly starts showing. There should be no compression, no severe twisting to the abdomen. You should not make your body get heated up when doing an exercises. You have to do it to a level whereby you understand that now I'm feeling a little bit warm. So you have to stop doing your poses, or you advise your yoga teacher that now I've started feeling hot. At the same time, you should not be out of breath when you're doing the poses. You have to do it at a very comfortable pace.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as you feel any aches or pains, you have to stop. You have to, if you have a teacher, you have to inform them immediately of the pain. Now, obviously, you cannot do any poses when you're lying on your stomach, because of the pressure on the stomach. And after the 4th month, we advise that you don't lie on your back as well, because of the blood vessels which get constricted, and then the oxygen flow gets less to the baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So I think, and thanks a lot, because a lot of women who are watching the show, a lot of men who are watching this show, because we also talk to the men, to their spouses, to their boyfriends, to their family, because this conversation about pregnancy, but more so in sports personality, it's a huge conversation. Ekadeli just did mention about Faith. She cut short her career. She went into family motherhood. Now she's back, and back with a bang. Let's get to postnatal, because what we have so far discussed is the preconception, the 3 trimester of the prenatal, the benefits, the postures, the do's, the don'ts, the types of poses. Now the child is here.
When you say the child is here, I would like to also stress on the importance of the spouses or the partner's support during the birthing process.
Okay.
Yeah. So because if the lady has the spousal support, the husband has supported her all through, and then he has been with her during the process of delivery, it also strengthens the bond of the baby with the father.
Okay.
And as a family unit, also they are stronger together.
Okay.
So now when we go to the point of now the child is here.
The child is here.
And when you're talking about the sports people and their eagerness to get back.
The eagerness to get back to boxing, to football, to hockey. So
just like with the process of the 3 trimesters, your priority was your health, your baby's health, the safety, and basically, the delivery should be comfortable and all this. And this child should have a good head start to life.
Okay.
Now, when the delivery process comes, everything doesn't finish there. Yeah, your child is here, but it's still part of, it's not independent, starts walking and going around
Yeah.
here and there. You're still taking care of the child.
True.
So, and at this time, after giving birth, the woman is so exhausted. So she needs to concentrate and prioritize her health,
Okay.
first of all. So again, the thoughts of when will I go back? You will go back eventually. So let that not be the first thought when you give birth, because now that child is going to lactate. Yeah, you need the first 6 months of the child also to be very strong, so you can give the child a head start. And if you neglect your own health at this time, you will pay the price later on in your old age. Yeah, because bone density has gone down, so many changes, hormonal changes have happened in your body. So if you have a normal birth, we advise that you go back to exercise, which starts with slow yoga poses, stretches and stuff after 6 weeks, once your doctor gives the go ahead.
6 weeks.
Yes, this is when you have a normal delivery, which I assume you will have after you do your yoga through your pregnancy. But by chance you went through a cesarean,
Yes.
yeah, a C-section.
C-section.
Yeah. So now in a C-section, it's more tricky because you have an incision, you have stitches, yeah, you may have to take some bed rest. And at the same time, your baby is lactating, you need to also nourish yourself with a good balanced diet, yeah, and take your multivitamins and all those things. For C-section, we advise that after 1.5 months, which we say 40 days.
40 days.
So after 40 days, you can start taking walks, maybe a little slowly at first and then brisk walks. But yoga has already started.
Yoga starts when?
Yoga started at 6 weeks.
After 6.
Yeah,
At 6
but
weeks.
now with cesarean, you will avoid the abdominal region.
Okay.
However, you can do some standing poses, you can do some arm strengthening poses. They may be swelling in your feet, so you do some ankle rotations, knee rotations. So yoga already started 6 weeks ago. Breathing exercise is still going on. Meditation is going on to calm you down from all the worries that you have. But exercise per se, for cesarean should start at 1.5 months.
Okay.
And up to 3 months we advise. But it's even better if you can go up to 6 months, because your child is lactating.
Yes, yes.
And as I said before, this should be your priority right now. As a sports person, you will definitely go back to your form as you were before, because all your life you've been active. So give this time dedicated to your health and the child's health, because as soon as you start doing active sport, now the milk will start disappearing.
Okay.
So you see, it's like, should I give here or here? So it's a personal choice in the end. I'm just advising. So we would advise that 1.5 months you start your exercise, gently walking. After 3 months you can do a little bit more strenuous, and after 6 months you can actually go back to your training. Yeah,
Okay.
that is for a cesarean.
That is for a C-section.
Yeah, but if you have a normal, then 6 weeks you can start your exercises. After 3 months you can go to training. But again with the lactating factor, it's always advisable to push it to 6 months.
To 6 months.
6 months, okay.
Faith alikaa sana Kiarie.
Yeah.
Kipiegon.
Yeah, because I believe, I would like to believe labda it's also getting back to form.
Yeah.
As you have said, it
Kabisa.
also
Ndio.
takes a moment back to get to your
Yes,
old body
because
self.
you see, you have given birth to a new human being.
Yes.
So imagine how much it has taken a toll on your body. And right now, maybe the ladies are young, they don't feel. But the damage you may do at this point, you may only realize it later in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, let me just ask on behalf of my good sisters out there, the sports people who are watching this show, is there a timeline? Is there a timeline of saying that you have said 6 months is the highly recommended?
Yes.
And
Yeah, because it takes that much time for your hormones to get back to normal. Also, your baby has gotten milk at least for 6 months, because women will find once they go back into any form of work, when they are away from the child for long durations of time, within a month or 2, I've seen the milk has disappeared. So you see, it's very important that now that you brought this person into this world, you must give him or her the best shot.
there are those what you call high energy sports, boxing, weightlifting,
Rugby.
rugby. Then there are those who are considered later. Table tennis is lighter, swimming later. So for me, just you having taken us through the whole journey, what would you advise more so on the high energy sports? Because the truth of the matter is, even with all the good wellness, the mental energy, there's always this burning desire. People say, once a soldier, always a soldier. Once a sports personality, always people like to get back to.
They don't stop.
For these high energy sports, what would you recommend in terms of also their nutrition? Because remember now, there's also a fine balance of trying to get back to form, nutrition, and some of the exercises around it.
Yeah, so the nutrition continues just as it was in prenatal.
Okay.
You're going to eat a balanced diet. Try to eat more home-cooked food, less processed food, less restaurant food, packaged foods. And basically, if you can afford a nutritionist, it's always better to get advice depending on what has been your previous nutrition in the past. Because if you're a sports person, you'll definitely have to make changes to nutrition.
You know, Ekadeli is smiling at me because in traditional, when a woman gives birth with a sports personality or whatever, we have about 5 aunties who come in. And all of them are doctors into what you need to eat, drink, or you need to hold your baby. So all these factors, they also affect your mental state.
Your mental state,
Because, and I can assure you, when it comes to those aunties and to those relatives and those people and your mother who needs to tell you this is how we used to do it in 1959. So for us, and thanks a lot, Swati, we are also asking about the yoga fitness instructors. Because you see, this is a person you have journeyed with from pre now to post. See? So are there particular exercises that are different in post than pre?
Now in post, once if we're talking about the C-section, the abdominal exercises will have to wait.
Okay.
But in a normal delivery, after 6 months, we already start doing abdominal exercises to get the body back into form. Apart from that, we can do more strenuous yoga poses. We can hold the poses for longer, to get your strength and everything back. So there are different poses now, but that will depend on person to person. And to answer your question about those know-it-all ladies, they mean well. Your mom means well, your mother-in-law means well, and it was okay at that time. But at this point, you have to know that your doctor knows best. Your yoga teacher or your yoga guide knows you the best. And also you yourself, after you go through a yoga journey with a yoga teacher, in a few months, you will also be able to understand that this is right for me or this is not right for me. So, of course, you can't tell them rudely that I know better or my doctor knows better. But if it's somebody very close to you, maybe you can take them with you to your checkup, or you can bring them to a session where they can also talk to your doctor or your yoga guide, and they can be advised, or they can be convinced to come on the other side.
Wow. You have taken us through all that and the benefits, of course. There are some benefits you mentioned in the prenatal about the nausea, inapunguza. And what about the benefit on the postnatal process?
The benefit for postnatal process is also after the baby is delivered, there's this overwhelming feeling of, will I be able to take care of this baby? So again, your mind is very anxious. It goes back to the initial stage because this is the start of a new stage. So apart from that, the meditation and the breathing techniques will help you come in terms. You find many of them, there's this term called baby blues. Whereby the mother is not able to connect with the baby. Well, that we wouldn't expect that to happen because of the process that we've gone through. But the yoga techniques can also help you deal with that. If you have stitches, you see, because the healing process is going on faster, more oxygenation, better circulation. So the healing process if there's a C-section, happens much faster. They are able to manage pain, the aches and pains that you feel much. It just helps you deal with the aches and pains and other situations much more. And also you already did arm strengthening exercises, so you will not find the strain holding the baby for long hours. You know, that becomes a problem sometimes. Yeah.
To take us through, because now I think we have got a 360 approach from the pre to the post, about your organization and what you do and your personal experiences as Swati in the journey.
In the journey of pregnancy.
In the journey of pregnancy, and most importantly, with how you have also managed to help other clients.
So by the time I had my pregnancy, it was 2009, and at that time I was not actively following yoga.
Okay.
So I was in corporate at that time, so I worked till the last day.
Okay.
And it was a very comfortable pregnancy for me, just went with the flow.
Okay.
But I was just doing some simple exercises, but I didn't really follow them as they were yoga. Now, unfortunately, what happened is, as I had mentioned about the nutrition and the multivitamins, so the nutrition part and the yoga, the strengthening part, as soon as I gave birth, I got very weak.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, I didn't realize at that time, but during the delivery process, it was a little difficult for me. I damaged my coccyx slightly, which is the tailbone, and that damage it's such a place where you can't put a plaster or you can't do anything. So for nearly 9 to 10 months after I gave birth, I was not able to get out of a seat without assistance. So it was severely painful. Then because of a lot of calcium mineral bone loss, I had a lot of aches and pains. So come 2012, when I went for my yoga training, I was already still dealing with those aches and pains. So by now I was feeling, okay, this is how life is. The legs are paining, back is paining, you know, all that. But in 6 months, when I came back, I was totally pain-free. Totally. So you see, the strength had come, all the previous injury also healed itself. So that's why I can vouch firsthand that, because I thought that, that's a lifelong thing for me.
Okay. So you actually have a personal testimony.
Yes, because the coccyx pain it's such that you really can't do much about it. It's very much inside the body. You can't do anything to it.
Wow.
So I managed to heal it completely, and now I don't feel it at all. It's completely gone.
Wow, that's interesting.
Wow. Time is going, and we have wished ama tungependa aendelee, lakini just give our viewers that general advice about the whole pregnancy, the whole thing that we have talked about.
And also to the growing young athletes. Remember, they are bubbling, they're 18 years old. There's this, talk to them about, because there's a career, there's family life, and there is active sports. The whole conversation. Because you have taken us through a whole 360. That's right.
What I'd like to tell the girls is that pregnancy and having a child it's a natural process, and it's a very important process, because you may give your career so much importance that after the time has passed, you may feel that I missed out on something, and by that time it will be too late to do anything. So right now, when you're strong and healthy, I think with the support of your partner, you must make a decision if your doctor gives the go-ahead, if your body is ready to do so, and if you're financially and emotionally ready to have a child. It's earlier the better. And remember that this is a very wonderful experience, giving birth, bringing a new life forth. So you must prioritize your health, the baby's health, so that it's a lovely experience for both of them. Even the child will be very comfortable when the child comes out. So yoga from day one till after, lifelong process. As I told you before, yoga is a way of life. Don't make it something just for 6 months or 8 months, or now I have delivered 6 more months. Make it a way of life, and it will stay with you naturally. Thank you.
And Swati, where can we find you? Because I want to attend some training sessions. Where?
With your wife, I hope.
Yes.
So you can reach me on call or on WhatsApp on 0733 811 941.
Okay. So,
Carry.
Akadeli, I think leo it has been a very wonderful Saturday afternoon
Kabisa.
because kwanza kabisa we have had a very informative session to share with our ladies, sana sana the women in sports hapa Kenya. Number 2, the key thing ni yoga is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So according to Swati, yoga is not only when you are inactive in sports, when through your pregnancy, even when you go back to active sports, yoga still becomes part of your menu. I think that is what I've taken home. Na ya mwisho kabisa is physical fitness. It's the greatest tool to wellness. I think that's my take home today. Mental, physical, and emotional. I think that is what I've heard from Swati. And yoga is a one-stop shop for hizo vitu tatu.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, viewer.
Naam, hatuna lingine la ziada. Kila chenye mwanzo kina mwisho. Kwa hiyo tunatamatisha. Amesema Kiari, amesema Swati. Swati, thank you. We hope to host you again and again and again. Kwa hiyo jisikie nyumbani. Kwa hiyo tunatamatisha. Tupatane tena wikendi ijayo papa hapa kwa mdahalo mwingine. Kwa hiyo usibanduke. Tupo hapa kukuelimisha na kukufundisha. Kwa hiyo sisi tunaondoka kwa sasa.